Hello, and welcome to another Talmud Israeli English language production. Our topic for today is Lo Tamod Ahl Dahm Rayecha. Do not stand aside while your fellow's blood is shed. Or, more colloquially, do not stand idly by. It is a pasuk in Vayikra, Perak Yutet, Pasuk Tet Zayin, and there is a sugya on this topic in Masechet Sanhedrin, Daf Ayin Gimel. Ordinarily, a negative commandment, a prohibitive commandment, mitzvat lo ta'aseh, is characterized by the concept of shev v'al ta'aseh, sit back and do nothing, and through your passivity, through your inaction, you will be in compliance with the mitzvah. In this case, the opposite is true. Although lo ta'amod is couched in the terminology of mitzvat lo ta'aseh, the word lo, do not, in reality, in effect, it is a mitzvah ta'aseh. We are obligated to be proactive, to do something, not to be passive. The concept in the Talmud of kum va'aseh, get up and do something. Who knows what we really saw? I could pretend that I did not notice, that I did not see, that I did not observe someone else's life being under mortal threat. I could be oblivious to the whole thing. And for that, the Torah has a comment. Lo Talmud Ahl Dahm Rayecha, Ani Hashem, I am the Lord. Meaning, yes, no one other than God knows what you really saw, but God knows, and there's no hiding that. Why does the Torah need to command something that seems to be an obvious moral truth? Well, first of all, according to the halacha, as explained by the Rambam, the obligation to be proactive in sparing someone from harm not only applies to their physical person, their health, their life, but even their property, that we have an obligation to step to the plate when someone's material assets are in physical jeopardy. And that might not be so obvious. But more importantly than that, there is what the sociologists tell us is the bystander effect. There is a tendency among people, especially if there are many witnesses to the same event, that each individual person, in fact, stands idly by, does nothing, chooses not to participate in a rescue effort because of an assumption, an unwarranted assumption possibly, that other people will save the day, and that I myself need not do anything because salvation will come from some other source. The classic example of this in American history is the Kitty Genovese case from 1964, where sadly a 29-year-old woman was killed outside the steps of her apartment building in Kew Gardens, New York, in Queens, when supposedly there were 38 witnesses to the crime. In fact, there may not have been so many witnesses, but this case gave rise to numerous sociological studies that came to the similar conclusion that people do sit idly by, when in fact they could have been of great help. The most famous case of Lo Tamod Ahl Dahm Rayecha is that of Mivtza Yonatan, Operation Jonathan, where Air France plane was hijacked and taken to Uganda, to Entebbe, Uganda, and over 100 Israeli and Jewish passengers were held hostage, and the IDF rescued them in a heroic and daring rescue effort. In 1998, the Israeli Knesset passed a law, the Chok Lo Tamod Ahl Dahm Rayecha, which made it a crime not to get involved in the rescue of someone when you see that their life is in real physical danger and no danger would happen to you by your involving yourself. The memory of the Shoah is something that should be on our minds today, the 27th of Nisan, Yom HaShoah v'Hagvura. And let us recall today those people, those partisans, those ghetto fighters, and the myriads of individual Jews who risked further endangering their lives when they could have had personal safety in order to go back into the fire, whether literal or figurative, to save the lives of others. That those heroes abided by the strictures of Lo Tamod Ahl Dahm Rayecha under the most adverse of conditions. Those are the true heroes. Began Eden Tehei Menuchatam.